Good morning, guys. Coach Nick here with video number 4 for the why behind the why, or if you really want to hear, honestly, the dream of what we wanted to create with HonorBound. We kind of broke down like why we do events. Now I want to talk about why we call everybody athletes, and it obviously ties into that video. We call everybody an athlete because you're doing athletic things. You're training on the gym floor like an athlete. You're doing, like we said, we're trying to talk you into doing events. Whether, I don't care if that's climbing the Grand Canyon, playing on your volleyball league. Like, I love it. There's a story in our gym right now of a group of our athletes who moved up into the most competitive league, league in their volleyball league. That's amazing. They become better athletes, right? Like, that's the whole idea. So that's part of it. We want everybody to see themselves. And I believe that identity is a huge thing. It's a huge key to success. Because when we come into the gym and we think of ourselves as just this old person, just this overweight person, just this slow person, we come in and we give ourselves all these excuses. I can't do this because I'm overweight. I can't do this because I'm old. And again, I'm coming from someone who was overweight, right? I understand that. But once we make that switch, we start looking at ourselves as an athlete. That's a big deal. So that's the big reason why we call ourselves athletes, because I want everybody to see themselves as that athlete. Another part of this, psychologically, like studies have been done and they've shown that when people come as an athlete and they train, when they consider themselves an athlete training for their sport, for their event, whatever, they're more likely to be successful because they're willing to put that work in, to really actually, they're chasing that goal, right? It's the whole idea of, right, those who fail to plan to fail, that idea. So we want everybody to walk in thinking of themselves as an athlete. And being an athlete can be anything. I know some people say, well, Nick, I don't play a sport, so I'm not an athlete. If you climb Mount Everest, if someone climbs Mount Everest, they didn't play a sport. Are they an athlete? I would argue yes. That is an incredible athletic accomplishment to climb Mount Everest. Same thing if you climb the Grand Canyon, right? So I don't think that it's just about sports. I think it's about doing competitive things, athletic things. And I've got little kids. If you've ever ran around and played tag with your kids at a park, that's athletic. So being an athlete might be playing in your volleyball league, might be playing in your softball league, you might be keeping up with your kids at the park, you might be doing a DECA, you might be doing a 5K, but whatever one of those things doing, you're an athlete. And that's been the big goal for why we call our members athletes, and why I call you guys elite athletes is really simple. There are 250,000 plus people in the city of Green Bay. There are 90 people here putting in that effort to work here. And if you count all the people in all the gyms, there's probably 1,000 people out of those 250,000 people who are actively, regularly at their gym chasing goals. That, by definition, would make you elite. The 1,000 out of 250,000 people. So I think sometimes we don't always remember that, like, hey, even if you come in dead last, you trumped everybody who did not start. So that's the whole idea. I tell people, like, you did a DECA. Everybody else that said it was too hard. That makes you elite in my book. And so I want everybody to see, when you're choosing to make yourself a priority, make your health and fitness a priority, that's amazing. And again, that should be rewarded. So when I talk about my elite athletes, it's not about whether or not you got on a podium or not. It's about whether you came in, day out, gave your best, and did something that half of the world does not do, which is why over half of our world is overweight and out of shape. And so making your health a priority, that's what we're going about here, and we're trying to do that by helping everybody to see themselves and to feel like an athlete.